So we're just almost at the end of our installation of this Philip Jeffrey Studs and Stripes. It's among the most beautiful wall coverings I've ever hung. And just a couple of tips about if you're a homeowner and you're hanging this. Actually, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, this is a very hard installation. And you'll figure that out when you do multiple walls and you come up and these don't meet up with these. So, but if you are hanging this on a wall, even the do-it-yourselfer can do this quite easily. Just want to give you some tips and tricks. So the wall covering, this is a clean table. The wall covering came wrapped up like this. And when you're gluing it, if you're alone, or even with somebody else, as you can imagine, the wall covering has taken on this shape. And so when you roll it out and you go to glue it, if you're not using a pasting machine, this is what you get. It just rolls up on itself. So we simply suggest that you turn it around and roll it up contra-wise. So you're going to break the spine, so to speak. You're rolling it up against its original roll, which is, it's been in this position for at least a year. And then you're going to take the paper and simply push down, not creasing it. You're simply preventing it from doing that again. That's all. So that gluing it is now not an issue. Now we're outside, so we can expect the wind to take this away if we don't hold down our hand onto it. But rolling it backwards is certainly going to prevent it from rolling up and springing up on you. Secondly, you know with Grasscloth, getting water or glue on the front of it is detrimental to the beauty of the wall covering. So I want to show you a way to glue this. You put the wall covering at the edge of your table, just past it, 1/4 of an inch. And here's why. By the way, you want to keep all the glue off of the side of your glue bucket. And the way you would do that is simply go along with it. This way it doesn't get dry on you and cost you 10 minutes cleaning out a nice bucket in the end. So we want to have a flange all around the wall covering. Please come in close. I want them to see that the wallpaper is just over the table. You can imagine what would happen. Now think, the Grasscloth can't get glue on the front. What would happen if I were to glue it like this and get distracted and get glue on the table, right? Right here. And then I move it. You know what would happen. And so we want to move quickly. So I'm keeping the glue in the middle. Both directions, because this backing is sucking the moisture out of the glue. It's doing its job. And so you want to go in 2 different directions. It's sort of like relationships these days. 2 different directions. Now, I'm going to slide it around like a pizza pie. And I'm sure I haven't gotten any glue on my table. And so I'm confident that I'm not rubbing glue into the beautiful part of the Grasscloth. Okay. Again, my Grasscloth is overlapping the table just by about 1/4 of an inch. And my roller is exceeding the grass cloth edge so that I can get the entire edge. And at the very end, I'm taking off like a plane. You see? I'm not going down because I might get glue on this side. I'm going up like an airplane, okay? So I know I'm good. Okay. So now, you usually mark top or bottom, but since this sheet was taken from a different roll, it's not an issue any longer. If you're taking one sheet that's say 50 feet long, and you're taking different pieces, you want to keep flipping them. This is from a different roll. It's not going to matter if you flip them necessarily, but when you get up to the wall, you do want to try which way looks best, and we already tried it. It's amazing how grass cloth matches when you do try the flipping it upside down. In other words, what am I talking about for those of you who never hung grass cloth? Grass cloth and other random patterns, when you take a sheet and put it up to the next one, you might want to flip it to make sure that it looks best. It might look good the way the first one was, top up, bottom down, but you may want to flip it and it may look better pattern-wise. If you have a question about that, just leave a question. Okay, so with clean hands, you want to just push. You never want to crease the grass cloth, but you do want to seal right up to the fold. You do want to seal it. What we're doing now is sealing the backing together. Don't press too hard. And you're just mashing the sides together so that this can book 7 minutes and get real nice and wet. You don't want it happening on the wall where it expands on you. So that's it. That's how you glue the backing, by breaking the spine, pushing it down just gently, and making sure that you don't get glue on the flip side of your grass cloth. That's all I have for you with this. I'm going to show you, since my last video wasn't good showing you how to double cut, the machine was in the way. I'm going to show you a double cut on this grass cloth. I'm sorry, a splice. I'm going to have to splice it because my last sheet is not long enough. So you can splice grass cloth. You see all of these horizontal lines. All you got to do is get a very thin 9mm blue blade, slice it right on a straight line. You can't cut this like I've shown you in the past, up and down. This obviously has to get according to the lines or the grain in the wall covering. You cut right across these lines and you pull the new sheet right up against it. You can't see the seam. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.